Perfect. Look, that is exactly the color that I was looking for. Including my tagliatelle, cabbage tagliatelle as I call them.
I can vouch for this, everybody. Delicious.
Ciao and welcome. The other day I cooked a frittata focaccia and I used a cabbage as the base for the frittata, and I was so impressed by both the texture and the flavor that I've decided to experiment a little bit more with cabbages. I've just removed the outer leaves from a white cabbage as has been in the fridge for a few days. And this was dead cheap. I paid 70 pence for it, so definitely good value for money. And I'm planning to make some cabbage steaks in breadcrumbs. So I'm going down with a knife and chopping my first steak. I'll chop the core with a knife. And I'm trying to get a couple of good sized steaks, maybe up to a couple of centimeters each. So I'm just going down with a knife to do the first one. I'm making sure that I keep the core as a way to keep it together. I'll do the second one. And that's perfect. I got a good couple of steaks, and these will go back in the fridge with the outer leaves for something else. My cabbage steaks are very hard at the moment and I want to soften them up a little, so I'll place them inside a saucepan. I'll turn them temperature on maximum and I'll add a little water, just a little. As soon as the water starts boiling, which won't take long because there is only a little, I'll put the lid on and I'll turn it down onto a medium, number 5 in my case, out of 9, and I'll leave it for maybe up to 7 to 8 minutes until they are a little bit softer. I've just picked some fresh parsley from our garden and I'm now chopping it with a knife. And I'll mix it with some breadcrumbs, followed by some salt and pepper, followed by the equivalent of a couple of tablespoons of Parmesan cheese. If you don't like Parmesan cheese, by the way, you can also use cheddar or cheese that you like Gouda or Edam. It doesn't really matter. And I'm now mixing it all together with a spoon. I want to give my steaks a little bit of a kick, so I'm adding now a little paprika. I don't know quantities to taste really, but I think by the time I'm done will be just under 1 teaspoon. I'm using smoked paprika, but you can use sweet paprika or no paprika at all. A few minutes have gone by and I think it might be an idea to actually turn my steaks around so that they are cooked properly both sides. Coming apart a little, but I'm not too worried about it. And that is the other one. Another 3 minutes and they will be ready for the next steps. My steaks are done and I'll leave them here to cool down, and these are the bits that have come off, but I will cook them as well. Couple of tablespoons of plain flour. I'll break an egg in a bowl and very briefly, just for 15 seconds really, I'll beat it with a fork. And I'm now covering my steaks with flour, making sure that the entire surface is covered, including the sides. Give it a little shake. By now they're safe to touch, so they can go in the egg next, and I'll turn them around as well, making sure that the egg covers all of the surface, including the sides of my steaks. And then I'll move them into my breadcrumb mix, again including the sides. Also turn it around to ensure that the base is properly covered. And I'm patting it with my hand to ensure that the breadcrumbs are properly attached to the cabbage steak. And I think this is ready. I'll put it on one side and I'll do the other one. I'm finding that actually pressing it with my hand is a really good and effective way of ensuring that the breadcrumbs are properly attached. And that's it, steak number 2 done. And with the loose bits which came off, I'll do exactly the same. I'll cover them in flour first. I suppose you could do the entire thing like this, but I like the idea of having a steak. Back to the egg and the breadcrumbs. There's only one problem with jobs like this, is that you get very sticky fingers in this case. I'm covered in breadcrumbs, flour and egg, but I'll wash. Same pan as before, no need to wash it because it was only cabbage and I just dried it, and I'll add a little olive oil. I'm waiting for the oil to reach temperature, and a way to test it is to just use one of those little bits from the cabbage and to see if it's sizzling. Yeah, and it's ready. I'll just give the pan a quick shake to ensure that the oil is across the entire base. And I add my cabbage steaks. And I'm going to turn the temperature down onto medium-high, number 6 out of 9 in my case. And I will leave them now. I will not touch them at all, as tempted as it might be, and maybe 4 to 5 minutes, and I'll take a look and then if I'm happy I will turn them around. I nearly forgot that I need to add the little straggly bit as well, so I'll add them next. And I've got little breadcrumbs left. I think I'll make myself a little omelette. And that is dead easy. New egg, and I'll add all of my breadcrumbs. I'll mix it together, and once my cabbage steaks are cooked, I'll do this one as well. I noticed after a couple of minutes that my burger steaks were getting a little bit too brown too soon, so I turned the temperature down to number 3 instead of number 6, and they look okay. And I'm not going to turn them around, including my tagliatelle look-alike cabbage. I'm now adding a little bit more oil to ensure that they cook properly, and I will leave them for another 4 to 5 minutes, number 3. And I think they're done. Let's have a look. And perfect. Look, that is exactly the color that I was looking for. A little bit more brown on this side, but that will be fine as well. And then you can move them here, please. I'll just put them on a plate to cool down, including my tagliatelle, cabbage tagliatelle as I call them. I'll just move the oil across the pan again, and I'll do my omelette. Perfect, and I'll move on back onto my steaks. Earlier today I made some peperonata, and has been in the fridge cooling down for several hours, and we're going to be eating our cabbage steaks with some cold peperonata, which is absolutely delightful. So I'm going to be adding it beside my cabbage steaks. And there they are, they're ready and looking very nice and interesting. So time to taste it now.
This is what I'm interested in. I can vouch for this, everybody. Delicious.
As usual, Julia's already had a go. So let's take a quick look at the inside first, and it looks interesting. Very white, it's a white cabbage after all, but I'm really looking forward to it. And time to taste it. That's really good. I only partly cooked the cabbage when I was doing it in water, and I'm glad with that because actually it's retained some of the crunchiness, and the breadcrumbs are absolutely delicious. The paprika, the little paprika I added, really does the trick nicely. So really very pleased with it. I'll just try some of these as well because I got the feeling that these are going to be even nicer.
They were lovely.
I think it's because they go more of the surface with the breadcrumbs compared to the burgers, so they're both lovely. And here is my little omelette, nearly finished, so I'm sure that this will be just as nice. Omelette's always nice. Okay, very dead simple, very easy to make, and very, very economical, and highly recommend it. Thank you for watching, and hopefully if you make it, you let me know how you get on. Ciao!